Hey guys, so welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will just be showing you people maybe step-by-step process of how I create my artworks because I get that a lot. This is, do you make tutorial videos? I want to see how you do it. So this will just be a little drawing of the steps I take to get to my finished piece. Before we get into the video properly, I want to tell you guys the iPad, the device I'm using to create this artwork because I get that a lot as well. The device I'm using is an iPad Air 4th generation. It's not that big, it's not that small. So iPad Air 4th generation, the storage is 256 gigabytes for this one. I would advise if you want to get one for yourself, get a bigger storage or at least 256 gig because artwork takes a lot of space and it's something you keep doing. So you need a device with good space. Then is 10.9 inches or so. Then I have an Apple Pencil as well, which I used to draw on it. The Apple Pencil is the second generation Apple Pencil. It works pretty well. It has pressure sensitivity, it has double tap function. The double tap can serve as eraser and cleaner. When you double tap, it will change to an eraser brush. When you double tap, it will change to your previous normal brush. So that's it. So let's get into the ultra video. When I want to create, I kind of like look for inspiration of what I want to create. So now I have an app where I used to create like poses of what I want to do. Maybe if I get an artwork from a client, the client will just tell me how he or she wants the artwork to look like. And from there I start picturing it. Most times I don't get the full concept, so I like, and most times the client don't actually know the full concept, the finished piece, but he just have an idea of how he or she wants it to be. So it's now my duty to now kind of like make the client's idea look too dope and nice. So I use this app called Pinterest a lot. I search for so many references online and it's actually good. Then maybe if I want to create a pose of a character, I have this app called Easy Pose. This is the app, Easy Pose. So I just enter and I create a pose. So here in this app, you can actually move move so many things about your pose. Move the head, move the hand, and so on and so forth. So after creating the pose, I just screenshot it and there it is. I can now use it as reference for what I want to do, what I want to draw. So here is a quick way. So for some of us that are lazy, some people like me, I'm really lazy and I want to get work done as fast as possible. I want to get work done as fast as possible. Instead of like sketching from beginning, I can just make it a little easier for myself and import the picture and sketch above the picture. Because most times that reference picture now is not actually how the artwork will look like, but it's like a guide for me. So when after creating it, I just like import the picture into Procreate and sketch on top. But most times you need, maybe you want to share your process video with the audience and you don't want your reference showing on the canvas when sharing the video. There's something you can do in Procreate. You can import that picture privately and it will not have to show in your time-lapse video. You just swipe left in the insert photo, you swipe right and you press insert private picture. And when you insert the private picture, when you are done with your artwork and you want to see the time-lapse video, you export the time-lapse video. Yeah, this picture is not going to show and it's actually showing here that the picture is private. So that's it. So you can import as many pictures as you want and it will not show on your time-lapse video. This is like a hack you get. So for me, most times I just do it like this, especially when the work is actually complex. Maybe I need to draw so many characters inside and the pose, the background and the rest. After creating these poses, I can just import it and use it as a guide before actually making the actual sketch, adding clothes, hairstyle, and the rest. Maybe anything in his hand and the rest. So I want to just quickly create an artwork with this. But for today, I'm not going to be using this method. I want to actually sketch and show you guys just normal sketch. So I'm going to delete it and I'll just use it as a reference. Use it as a reference and show you guys how to sketch from beginning. So so first, the most time I like taking my sketch color to the blue. I don't know. I like using blue to sketch first before using black to create the real outline. Then I use this brush called technical pen.
Don't worry about the quick time lapse process. I just want to show you the entire process of the artwork before actually explaining the artwork layer by layer. When I'm sketching, I like to start really rough than trying to make it perfect at the first take. The reason I do this is because putting all your effort at trying to get it right at the first take is really time wasting and frustrating. So I just make a quick rough sketch, reduce the opacity of the layer, and then add a new layer on top to continue. And now I'll have something like a guide underneath to help me. While sketching, I also like using the adjustment and liquify tool because it can help make things much easier and faster. And whenever you're trying to draw or add something new, always try to do it in a new layer because this can help you in so many ways. Then when you are finally okay with the outcome, you can now merge these layers together. At this point, the sketch was already looking promising. So I start my line out with a new layer above, and I try to make the lines as precise as it can be. If your brush is wobbly, you can go to the brush studio and increase the stabilization of your brush for more precise strokes. I barely have time to draw myself or my art character, so for the purpose of this video, I decided to make use of the opportunity. Personally, this stage of the art process is always the most difficult because sketching tends to take a lot of time and is very frustrating. But the thing about it is that when you don't give up, you will notice that it just keep getting better and you are starting to like the results. One thing you should know is that there is no particular way to do this. Some artists don't sketch, they just color block and try to work it out through the entire process. That is why you should just do whatever works best for you, so long as you reach your end result. The name of the drawing app I'm making use of is called Procreate. It is a one-time paid app for Apple Store and it is not available for Android devices, only for Apple devices. This app is actually the reason why I wanted an iPad so bad before I got the current one I'm using. If you don't have this particular drawing app, it is fine because I'm sure other drawing apps can also do the things I can do on this app. Maybe except privately importing a media to your canvas. So let me use this opportunity to introduce you to the sponsor of this video, which is me. My name is Artist Kobe. I create digital artworks. I'm available on almost all social media platforms with the same username Artist Kobe. So recently, I create mostly music-related art pieces, such as song, song covers, album artworks. I'm also available on freelancer sites like Fiverr. If you want to make inquiry for art jobs, please contact me on Instagram through the DM. I will do well to reply you. I'm mostly active on Instagram and TikTok in case you are curious to see what is it I'm recently working on. So this particular art piece took me about 5 hours of work time. I think the duration of my artworks depends on how complex the artwork turns out to be. Most of the time, it takes days just to complete one art job, especially when I have to sketch multiple characters.
If you are just getting to know me for the first time, you can check out all my artworks on my Instagram page. I'll put the link to all my socials under this post description. Okay, guys, so this is the finished piece. So let me explain this. These are the layers. This is everything. So let me explain it little by little. The first thing I did was create a sketch. The sketch was very messy, but I tried. Then after the sketch, I now created an outline. The outline is here. So there were so many adjustments. So now this is the main sketch, like the complete line work. After this, I now had to color fill it, like color fill the outline, the body. So that's when I created this one, I color fill it. Now under this color fill, now there are so many ways you can actually color fill your work. Let me just show you ways that you can use to color fill your work. Let's create a layer beneath this outline now, and maybe this is the color we want to color fill this artwork. You can maybe use the selection to select the object, and when you select the object, when you press color fill to just fill it, or you can just use your brush, use your brush, and kind of like create something like this, and you just drag and fill, you just drag and fill something like that. You understand what I mean? Or this is another kind of easier way to do it. You go to your outline and you click reference, and when you click reference, you just go below it. You make your outline the reference, and you go below it. There is the layer you created under, and you just color fill. Okay, it was my color fill threshold that was having issues. So on that line, you just drag and color fill, drag and color fill. This one is kind of like an easier way. And when you are done, you make it, you off your outline and make it neat. Then you go back, go back to it. So that was what I did here, and that was how I created this. This color now is this was the base color I did. I wanted it to be like my character, so that was I wanted it to be like this my character. I'm dark in color. When I did this, I now drew the eyes. All these are flat color. Then the next one, when this time around, when you are drawing anything now, you kind of like hit clip marks so that anything you are drawing won't go out of the base color. The base color is this one. So you anything you are drawing now on top this one, you hit clip marks here. Then now the next thing I did was I color filled all these ones, flat colors, flat colors. Then the hair, I gave it a flat color. Then the shorts, then the design on the shorts. Then this one is the shirt. After all this flat color now, I'll now try to map out my background and know how it's going to look like. So this is the background I chose or I created, and then I added lights to the background, added beds, then I added like grass beneath it, and then I added grass too in front of me. I added grass too in front of me. So it's everything now is just kind of plain. But if you notice that this character now is not kind of matching the background, like his skin color. Every drawing you see, they kind of for it to look very good is he has to kind of like match the background somehow. So that is when color blending comes into play. Created the layer above all my flat layers for the character and made it multiply. And I color feed it. Now this layer, now if it is not multiplied, this is how it looks like in a normal layer. This is the color. So how I got to this color is that I will click on the background, I will select the color of the background, and then I will take it to somewhere here, and then just color fill it. By then to that, I'll make it to be on a multiple layer and color fill it. Then if the color is not still nice in my eyes, then I'll come over here to color curve, and then I'll play with the color curve. This background now has red in it, so I can make it a little bit red and make it a little bit blue. You understand? So that was how I got to this. Now the skin, the clothes, and everything, they now match the background. So the next thing for me to do is add shade. If you want to add shade, you still do it the same way you color blend. You just make the layer, you multiply the layer, and then you do the same thing. If you want to add shade, you come somewhere like here and you start coloring. Then you add shade. Let me do it so you see it. Add the layer above, multiply, take it somewhere here, and then you start adding shade. Then after adding this shade now, you the shade is kind of dull. The color is dull to me, so I will just come to curve and play with the red and blue, the red and blue. Then I can now reduce make it darker or make it lighter. And then when I'm happy with it, I'll now just leave it. See, that's it. So that was how I created this layer, this multiply layer. And now we have shade. I wanted light to I wanted the light to be like from what he's holding. So the light will reflect on his face and maybe part of his clothes. So other place will be kind of like dark. And then the next thing we now did was add more darkness. There are some places that will be a little bit darker, like the ear, inside the ear, the arm here, this place here, this place here too. I seen it. So after that one, I now wanted to add lights. Some place would be a little bit lighter, like here at the nose, here, here, then the palm, because the light is actually reflecting more on the palm because what he's holding is kind of like reflecting light on his palm. So I added this layer, color dodge layer. What this color dodge do is, okay, this is how to use it. Let me switch off this one and create a new color dodge layer. Color dodge, you come to a gray color down. If you take it up, it will be very light. So you come down like this and you try to use it. Color dodge work for any color. You just lighten up the whole place. So that was how I created that layer. That was how I created this layer. And I lighten up this place and the nose and this place here. So after that layer, I created the YouTube logo that is floating. So the YouTube logo now I just created it and I wanted it to glow. So I duplicated this layer. I duplicated this layer. Then the one beneath it, I changed it to add, and I went to Gaussian blur and I blurred it out, and it gave it like a glow effect. So that was how I did that. But the glow effect was not the glow effect was not that it did not pop up well. So I like duplicated the layer and for it to like pop up well. So that was how I did that. Now this is the finished work. For me too, I still needed it to still glow a little bit more. So I now that same layer I duplicated it and brought it up. So even on top of the YouTube logo is glowing. So that was how I did it. After having this glow effect, now when something is shining, it will kind of like reflect on the character's face or on the character's body as well. So that was how I created this layer. Another add layer. And if I want something to shine very, very well, I'll make it add layer. That's what add layer is for. So that was how I did this layer. You can see it. If I take it off now, it's not shining. And if I put it on now, it's like shining. That was what I did for there. How I did that was just use the use the soft brush and take it to that color. That was how I did that. Then the next thing I had to do, there is a light source here, like the sunset. There's a light source here, so I needed to add like highlights to this place that the sun is hitting directly. So I now added this highlights, the same add layer, added these highlights here, and the highlight was not popping that much for me, so I duplicated the layer, and that is why you're having two add layers here. So for me now, personally now, I feel it is like kind of okay and cool. What else did I do? Okay, for the eyes, I just added an highlight on the eyes to show light reflection on his eyes. So that is it. Then for for the leaves, I did an effect to them to make it look like it has a windy effect. So this was the initial leaf, and I duplicated that layer and give it a motion blur. This is how you do it. Okay, let's say this is the initial leaf now. You duplicate it, you switch off your former one so that in case there anything goes wrong, you have your layer that nothing happened to it, and you go to motion blur and you kind of like blur it to how many percent you want. That was how I did. That was how I did this. That was how I did this layer, and this is the actual one I used. And this layer now, light too is still reflecting on the leaves. So I added a layer on top and press clip marks with add layer, and then I added some light. You can see here there are some lights reflecting on it. Same thing I did to the one in front of him. Added some lights. You can see. So that was how I did it. I think now we have the full artwork, and I just added text on the background. Text on the background. So this is it. I added it behind the character. So this is like the whole artwork. And another thing you should know is that there is no specific way on how to actually draw digitally. Digitally has like endless possibilities. There are so many things you can do. You cannot just get better a day. You have to keep working on yourself. Like me now, I need to keep working on myself and looking for new ways to kind of make my artwork good, and so many things you can do. If you stick around to this point of the video, I just want to say a very big thank you. I'll keep working on myself to create more suitable videos. And lastly, please don't forget to subscribe and comment how you feel about the video. Still comment on where you feel I didn't talk about, what you want me to talk about, and I'll see you in the next video.